Welcome friends to this series of Learning Google Cloud Platform. In the last lesson we learned what instance group is and how many kinds of instance groups are there. We have also learned what are the different features of that and the benefits of using instance groups. If you haven't watched that video, you can watch that video first and then come back to watch this exciting demo. We are providing the link to that video in description. Now, in this lecture we will learn how to create an instance group and will go through each and every configuration and the meaning of them. Are you excited to have this experienced? I am sure you will be delighted to have this learning. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do it now. This will help you to watch when new videos will be available. Also please hit the notification button so that you can get notified too. So, let's get started.
Now, friends, this is our GCP Web Console. So the last time we have created one VM instance template, and we created a custom VM instance template where we mentioned to create Apache web server, and also we have edited the index.html file with our some hello world welcome message that displays the internal IP address of the VM. And we will use the same instance template to create our first instance groups. So let's go to these instance groups and let us first create our first instance groups using the same template. Now, we can use stateless or stateful instance group form. So you can choose either of them. In the last lecture, you heard from Andrew about the instance groups, and there it was mentioned you can use a stateful instance groups if you are having some requirement to create some database, a high availability server cluster, where you are just going to preserve the IP address along with other persistent data configurations. And you can use the stateless where you can use the auto scaling facility. So in our demonstration, maybe we can check the stateless one. There is no as such differences between these two forms other than these group config, for instance, config. So other than that, it is exactly the same. So we will choose the stateless one because it is having the auto scaling feature, and there are many things we can discuss over here. So if you go to this new managed instance group stateless form, you have to first specify some name of this instance group. Maybe we can say custom Apache server managed instance group. And we can provide our template where we have mentioned that it will automatically install the Apache web server, and then it will edit the index.html file as per our need. So once you do that, it's just to provide the type of these MIG, whether it will be single zone or multiple zone. So if you want to span across these MIG into different zone in a single region, so you have to specify region. So maybe I can say US Central 1, and you can specify what are the zones you want to span across. If you say single zone, then you have to specify a region, and it will be stick to a single zone where multiple VM instance will be created. So if you want a high availability, it is recommended to use the multiple zones. But for this demonstration purpose, I am okay with the single zone cluster. So once you specify that, you have to provide if you want the auto scaling or not. So you can completely opt out for auto scaling, or you want the auto scale out, but you can avoid the auto scale in. So it is very much recommended to add or remove the instances in the instance group. So keep the auto scale mode on. And here you need to specify the number of instances you have to keep at minimum and the maximum. So for my case, maybe we can specify, we can 2 instances to live all the time, and it can grow till maybe uh, 6 instances at max. Okay, so or maybe I can keep one instance at minimum level, and I can go to 6. Okay, but based upon what it will scale up. So this is a CPU utilization that is a default one. So there may be other signals you can add, like HTTP load balancing utilization, Google pops up queue, or cloud monitoring metrics. So based upon some custom metrics, you can also auto scale or HTTP load balancer pops up, but we are not going to demonstrate load balancing or pops up or other cloud monitoring metrics. So it's easy to demonstrate signal based on the CPU. Now, if you choose CPU-based auto scaling, if you expand this section, you can find that what can be the target CPU utilization. Based on that, you want this scaling. So if I specify 60, which is by default, that means auto scaling adds or remove VM instances in the group to maintain 60% CPU utilization. So if I keep it as 80, so once it will reach 80%, so at that point, it will add some new VM instance in this group. Okay, and there is predictive auto scaling, so it can gather some kind of statistics, like if you're having some more requirement during the night times, during some bad jobs when you run at the US nighttime or the business off business hours, it can automatically add those new instances during your batch load. If it sees that it's an e-commerce application and you have some kind of load the business daytime, and there is minimum at the nighttime for the e-commerce application, it will predictively add some VM instance during the daytime. So if you optimize for the availability, then it will auto scale based upon your usage pattern and scaling out pattern and scaling in pattern. It will automatically adjust, or it can completely rely upon these CPU utilization target. Okay, so for my case, I'm just going to keep it off, but you can keep it on because it's a very good feature. So after that, auto scaling schedule, which you cannot edit right now unless you have created these VM instance group. So once you have created this MIG, you can add some schedule. For example, if you're having some holiday period once in a quarter or so, you are just going to have some spikes in sales. So maybe you can add some schedule like that. Once in a quarter, you want to add some kind of more VM to be added in these MIGs. Okay. So the next is initialization period. So it's some kind of time that it will take for applications to be initialized for the boot time until it is ready to start. So before it's 1 minute. So we can keep it like that. Now you can scale in control. If you enable this one, you can specify like, don't scaling by more than 10% of VM. So if your workloads take more minutes to neutralize, for example, due to lengthy installation tasks, you can reduce the risk of response latency caused by abrupt scaling events by configuring this scaling control. Specifically, if you expect load spikes to follow soon after declines, you can limit the scaling rate to prevent auto scaling. I'm just disabling at this moment, but it's really a good feature from the cost management perspective. So the next thing is the action on failure. So it will check. Uh, First, it will uh, check the health of the VMs, whether the VM is actually damaged for some reason, or it is not available. So what it will do, it will repair the instance first. Okay, so that is the only option you have to choose. Now, for the auto healing, what you need to do, either you need to um, select your existing health check that I already created the my health check TCP, which actually listens to port number 80 for the HTTP server, and every 5 seconds it checks whether there is any unhealthy VMs are there or not. If it does find any kind of VMs that is unhealthy or something like that, it will automatically heal. Okay, so maybe I can create a new health check for in front of you so that you can understand like how it works. So maybe you can okay, say like custom health check for um uh, for Apache clouds. So we can provide whatever the name fits for you, but I just like to provide uh, add, add much information I can provide in the name itself so that it is easier for you to understand what exactly the health check is for. Okay, so you can keep it regional or global depending upon your, usage span. So I can keep it regional and I can keep it as a simple one because all my VMs are in US simple one only. So I'm just going to use the port 80 because my VMs are all um, HTTP based web server. So it is in the port 80 only. I'm not interested with the logs. And now the health check. How much time interval it will check whether the healthy instances are out there or there is some kind of unhealthy instances. So it can be 5 seconds. So timeouts is how long to wait before a request is considered as a failure. So it is again 5 seconds. And now the healthy thresholds like how many consecutive successes must occur to mark a VM instance healthy. So it will just ping two consecutive success and then it will mark it as healthy. The same is for unhealthy as well. So if you click this save, so it will create a new health check. And initial delay is 5 minutes. So before you check anything, just wait for 5 minutes um, to replace unhealthy instances. Now here, if you find some VM that is bad and during the process of repairing, what kind of instance template you can choose because you may end up editing your existing VM template and whether you are suggesting whether you are going to use the same VM instance template or you are just going to keep the updated one. So accordingly, you can choose any of these options. So I'm just going to keep it updated all the time. So after the instance configuration where there is a change in the template itself. Now, I'm not interested in port mapping. I'm okay with port number 80. And now the new thing is come as standby pool. So you can use a pool of VM instances ready for your use, and you can keep them stocked or you can keep them paused or suspended, and you can use them as a hot one. For example, if you want three more VMs to be added in your application, so you will first check whether these three instances are there in the standby pool or not. If it is there, it's just maybe in suspended state or stop state. It will just start that VM first, and then it will go for creating another um, VM instances if the required number of instances are more than available in standby pool. So standby pool is a ready to use VM instance cooked for you. You can, you can use them ready for your application, but you can keep them stopped and suspended, whatever you want to minimize the cost as well. You have to specify some kind of suspended VMs and stop VMs. Maybe if I just say one and one, I need to specify some kind of delay, for example, 60 seconds, because I'm just automatically scale out, and it will just wait for 60 seconds um, to pre-initialize before they are suspended or stopped. So maybe I can say 30 seconds. If 30 seconds idle time can be enough to say whether I can have them stopped or suspended. So if I specify one suspended instance, one stopped instance, and one minimum instance I need, so once I will hit this create button, how many instances will it create? It will create three instances for me. And out of those three instances, I will see one instance will be up and running, and rest two instances will be in stopped and suspended state. So it will take some time to create this thing. So once it will be created, I'll be back. Till then, I'm just pausing my video. Okay, so you see our custom Apache server MIG is ready, and it has created three instances. So let's see how these instances look like. So you can see these three instances it created, and out of it, one instance is up and running. What about the states of these two instances? So So I'm just waiting till this page got refreshed properly. So you can see one is in stop state, one is in suspended state, and one is in running state. And if you copy this external IP and you see HTTP, and then you provide this external IP address, you can see the hello world message is coming from here. So if I select this stopped one, I can definitely do. If I select this suspended one, I can definitely delete for that one. So let's see if I delete this one, what will happen. Even you can delete this stopped instance as well. So let's delete these instances because they were uh, created by those MIGs. As we can see, we have provided one. Just see the instance got deleted, and eventually it has created these pool through this automatic pool service. And you can see right now we are having two running instance, and I am sure that this instance will be running in a minute. Yeah. So right now you can see three instances are running because one was in stop state, one was in suspended state, And as we have deleted those instances, now those instances have been automatically repaired, but they're in running state. So if I go ahead and click this external IP, and if we say HTTP, and then we provide this external IP address, um, then we will see it is serving our web server. So now we have said that just wait for 30 seconds before you can suspend or stop the VM instance uh, from the pool. So let's wait for 30 seconds and we can see whether there is any action will be taken by the MIT for those instances somehow. Okay, friends. So after waiting for a couple of seconds, you can see that this VM got stopped, this VM got suspended, and only one VM is running. So if we keep on adding load on this particular server, so what it will do, it will add one more server in this MIG. Now, from where these new server will come into the picture, first it will see what are the suspended or stopped state VMs in the pool. So if there is any available uh, VMs in the pool, then that it will start that particular VM. So that first it will use a suspended one, and once there is no suspended VM, then it will look for some stop VM. So if the stop VMs are also not available, then it will create a new VM and add in the pool. So this is how it works, and you can use this MIG whenever you are having a cluster of VMs requirement to host your web server or mm, any kind of application that needs the cluster of VMs, and they can use the auto healing and auto scaling features.
Thank you friends for watching this video. We from the Learning Light team congratulate you to complete this learning. In this lecture we have learnt how instance group is to create, and also we went deep into each of the section in the form of creating instance group. In the next lecture we will continue to learn a few more things on instance groups. But that will be more focused on release management and how we can do that using instance groups. Wish you all the best and good luck. Before leaving here, please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. We worked a lot to present you with such a thing. So, please encourage us by putting your comments in the comment section. If you have any doubt, please leave your concerns and we will reply with our best efforts. Have a nice day and see you in the next lecture.